Next, we're going to move on to, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Michael Jackson. I don't have to tell you who Michael Jackson is. He's around the ones they would say, can you paint Michael Jackson? So that's how Michael Jackson got in the mural. Michael Jackson came late in the mural. In fact, is Sam here? Is Sam here, the artist Sam who actually painted Michael Jackson? He's a personal friend of Catro's. Sam actually is another professional artist. That's why we have Michael Jackson in the mural. So we can give Michael Jackson a round of applause. Make the kids happy. We're going to move on to the A. In the A, there's quite a few people here from the A. That's a good thing. I see Bruce Sue Campbell in the back. I'm going to call Bruce up first because Bruce served as a lot of inspiration for the artists. Bruce would come up almost every day or every other day in his spare time, and he would hang out with the artists and inspire him, and they would tell stories. So I'm going to let Bruce talk a little bit about who he is and a little bit about his connection with the artists. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I'm going to say it's an honor to have my face on the mural where I only grew up right across the street at 54 Foot Street. And I remember the good old days when I used to shoe sign up and down Dixwell Avenue from Broadway to Munson Street. And especially in front of the Monterey and the Golden Gate Cafe, if people ever remember. But what I do love about it is I got a chance to go and do something that I always dreamed of, and that was to have my name hanging from someplace in the Dixwell Avenue neighborhood where I was raised and born and grown up, and have the opportunity to have my kids get a chance to see it. So now I know that every other day I'm going to have my son ride his bike or jog up here and come see it. To the rest of the inductees, it's a great honor and a pleasure, especially for a guy like Mary Daniels, who probably gave me my first job as a camp counselor at Winchester School. So it's an honor to be a part of it. Tracy I know very well. Of course, Super John took care of me when I was in New Jersey. Chad I got to know personally. And Floyd Little, who also grew up in the projects. One thing I wish that my kids could see or would have been around to see was the projects. The projects was the greatest time of my life. Greatest time of my life. I mean, from the low rises to the high rises, from Munson Street to Lake Place. Everybody was one. Everybody was one. And believe me, if you did something on the street, you got popped upside the head. By the time you got home, you got another one. So all these parents out here, I give you thank you for help raising me. I'm privileged again to be a part of this historic moment. Me and Cato talked a good long time in my backyard. Over, Stacy tried to get me to cook some steaks, but I didn't. But we talked over, and I'm honored that they put me on there. It's a pleasure, and I love Dixwell Avenue area, and I will never, ever forget it. Thank you.
I knew you were going to leave the microphone way up there like that. We talked about that yesterday and you forgot. Floyd Little, someone told me that they was going to try to contact someone from his family. They said that he had a distant cousin that lived in New Haven. There was a story about Tracy. Not that I was being, a feminist or anything. So I called my sister Sal and I said, well, we're on the A, and she said, well, what about Tracy Claxton? So Tracy Claxton came up immediately. The picture that we had of her wasn't the best picture, so Tracy came with her own picture, and Tracy met the artist before the artist even painted her picture, and she came back several times to make sure the picture was right. Honored and respected so deeply in New Haven, so I'm going to bring forward Tracy. We cried together a little bit too, but Tracy.
am really shy, trust me in that. My family knows. I may not come across that way, but I am. Mayor Stetson. First of all, I would like to thank God for blessing me and having family and friends and co-workers who have not only supported me today, but throughout my life. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Wellborn, yes. Diane Penaway, Margaret Godell, the artist Kachel Storm, Sam Gibbons, the other artist, for all their hard work which made this possible. Words cannot express how I feel emotionally, so I thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, and I love you all.
Okay, we have two wanted, the boxers in the mural. So Reggie Higgins is here. I know I've seen him. Mr. Higgins, would you come forward, please? Casey found him, and he would call me between breaks on his workout time. And I know right now I'm cutting into his workout time because he's still a professional fighter, but he's going to tell you a little bit about this. So I wanted to thank you publicly for taking out time to come today. Thank you.
How is everybody today? First of all, I'd like to say hello to each and every one of you, the mayor, the young people. I am humbled, I am honored, I am overwhelmed, I am blessed to even be considered to be among great individuals on the wall. I remember as a little crumb snatcher going to the nursery school right across the street from Bassett Street. I used to look across the street and say, wow, I want to play basketball over there one day. You know, I can remember sitting in front of my grandfather's house right next to the country market during the Freddie Fixer parade, saying, wow, I want to be a Flaming Knight. I can remember being able to walk to see the street park where they actually have the black party, you know, to unity in the community, you know, you mold your house. I mean, all these things involve something for the kids, the young people to do, you know, and I think that is the most important thing we should focus on right now, the young people. You know, they were major force in putting this thing together. A lot of times we read in the paper about some of the negative things that happen involving the young people, but this is a moment for the young people to get some shine, you know, to really be appreciated for what they are, and that is the future. You know? So, having said that, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this moment, and I appreciate it, and on with the show.
Okay, next we have Chad Dawson is here, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, I couldn't find Chad, and I had to call around several people. Then I called Scott X. Is Scott X here? He's not here. There he is. I see him in the back waving. I called Scott X and I said, Scott, if you can get a letter, an email, hello, or holler out to the brother, something. But the children needed me to get Mr. Dawson here, so I'm glad to see you here. And would you come forward? I know his schedule is busy as well. Thank you.
How everybody doing? It's an honor to be up on the wall with so many influential people. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, to see the community come back together and do things like this for the kids. I mean, and for the kids to want me to be up on the wall, I mean, it's an honor. And I mean, I appreciate everything. I mean, I'm from New Haven. I grew up here, and you know, I'm happy to still reside here and still, you know, be in the community. You know, I'm a regular person just like you guys, nothing different. And thank you.
Okay, the next one is on the wall. Super John Williamson. The first person that actually came to see the mural was John Daniels. And as soon as John Daniels walked in the room, he said, "That's John Williamson." He didn't even get through the door all the way. And but John Williamson's image has probably provoked some of the most emotional conversation of every piece in the mural. Before I bring up the Williamson family, who's still here in New Haven, they didn't forget where they came from, right across the street. The gentleman standing next to Catro, Marquise Waters. Marquise, could you come in for a minute, please? Marquise is a recent graduate of Hill House High School. Marquise came to this project. Marquise came every single day. Even when Catro wasn't here, he would wait. Rain, shine. When the project was over, school was out, Marquise came every single day. He cleaned, he swept the floor. Whatever Catro asked him to do, he did it. And Catro had so much patience with him. It was way past the artwork at that point. It was a true mentorship. And I asked Marquise today, would he come forward and just say a few words? He will represent what the youth feel about working on this project. So Marquise.
Hi, it's nice to meet everybody today. Thank you for coming in. Working on this project, it was like a privilege to me, just working with Catro. I didn't even know about him myself. Like, my art teacher told me about this. And like, I was just so honored that just being here working. Like, this was all just for y'all, like the whole community around here. Just wanted everybody to know that this is a good community. Like, everybody care for each other. Even though you see everything negative all the time about us, it doesn't matter, because this is still a good community. So that's how I feel about it.
I need the members of the Williamson family, or whoever's going to come up and represent the Williamson family. They were very emotional, they were very honored. So someone from the Williamson family is going to come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for getting this honor towards my husband, which he's truly been a great athlete. It's a great husband and a great father. But he's been the best for everyone in the community. I thank everyone for always mentioning him and remembering him and coming through for him. And for the family as well. I thank you very much. God bless all of y'all. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for everyone coming out here. And I'm just so proud that the Williamson family gets to be a part of this here for the community. You guys have always welcomed us. Anyone that sees me and knows me always talks about how great my dad was, and we're just proud to be a part of this right here. Very good.
Okay, we're going to move on to the D. His daughter is here. Where did she go? She went. Oh, she doesn't want to speak. You sure you don't want to say anything? You walked out right on time. See? Go ahead, say something.
I'm very happy to be here today because I have two honors now on Dixwell Avenue, my mother's Mural and her nursing home across the street. And thank you very much for coming.
We have an image of Helene Grant. She was a teacher and a civic leader. I was told by some people who did some history on her that she was known for her ability to teach inner city black children how to read. That was one of the things that she was known for. As we move forward with this project, I'm going to need all the research information so people can come forward and stop by the library and give me some valid information. I'm going to be researching each image until I can't research it anymore. We're going to put together. We have the Hannah Gray home. which has been remodeled. I chose, and Katra chose, to do the old Hannah Gray home. I'll say a little something about Hannah Gray. Hannah Gray was a seamstress. I think she must have had a little bit of money in her day. It doesn't say she was a millionaire, but back in that day, to own her own home, she was a single black woman, and she left her home for black women who were in need of a place to stay, and that's why she left her home. So the home has been remodeled, but the image you see is of the house. We have the Dixwell Community House. We're not going to go there today, okay? But it's across the street. We're just going to leave that alone, okay? But it's a part of the community, so we're going to leave it right there where it is for right now. We have the Gulf Street School on Gulf Street. It's now, that's on Gulf Street, okay? And, okay, we have myself, Diane Brown. I'm in the image. The artist, Margaret Bodell, stole my picture off my desk and started the image, and then they told me. We have the Soul Station. Well, we're going to put the Soul Station. Anybody remember the Soul Station?
Yeah, YBC.
Okay, no, not WYBC Soul Station. Soul Station up here on Dixwell Avenue. Okay, all right. So we didn't put that in there. But what we did do was we put a small image of the little structure where the Black Panther Party held their meetings at, because we had plenty of people that came by that said, where's the Black Panther Party? So there's an image of the Black Panther Party, and just to let you know, that was done today. Black Panther Party was put in today, better late than never. Pastor of Dixwell Avenue Congregational Church. The churches in this neighborhood have a very, very rich history, and I'm just going to ask Reverend John Henry Scott if he can come forward for a few moments and say a few words. We are forging a partnership. Stetson Branch Library, Reverend Scott, and Principal Muhammad from Webster Grant School, because we think that there's just too many institutions in this community for the community to go down the way it's going down. So we have met, and we're going to try to pull together a partnership to do something for the youth in the community, and Katra has said that he will sign on to that. Reverend Scott?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, wonderful. Giving out to God, to the mayors, to all who are present this day, to all our young people. Give all the young people a nice round of applause, won't you? Give yourselves a nice round of applause. Over at Dixwell Church, we have a mentoring program that's going on right now during the summertime and going into the fall, and all are welcome to participate. We have adopted Webster Grant School as our school to help out, and we've been helping out in many different ways there, as well as partnering now with also Stetson Library in the community. Tomorrow, I see many members of the, I want to thank the Dixwell Children's Arts Festival, and members of Dixwell Church are putting that on, as well as members of the community, the Cultural Affairs Department of the City of New Haven, as well as Mayor Stefanos right here. Look right across the street. Tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, there'll be carpet painting, video games, architect, business art, African drumming, you name it. They've got everything. And they got some star. Who's the star coming, Dr. Brown? Bobby Valentino? Okay, they got a limo going to New York City to pick him up, so he'll be out here also. I don't really know him, but kids know him. All right. And of course, we're partnering also with WYBC. Yeah. Members and friends. We've got to do more with our community. We have to teach our kids to read and to be all that they can be together. You see the mural over here of Dixwell Church. Actually, Dixwell Church, let me give you a little history. Dixwell Church is the oldest formally recognized African-American congregational church in the United States of America. Dixwell Church, right over there. Started around 1820. In 1839, the founder, a white man, young man, white kid, teenager, named Simeon Jocelyn, about 17 to 18 years old, who started Dixwell Church with 24 former slaves. Where you're standing was slave grounds. Where you're standing was slavery was being done right here. And our kids need to know that. Not just down south in Georgia and Alabama, no, right here. And so Simeon Johnson said, slavery is wrong. All people ought to be treated equally. And so Simeon Johnson, those 24 former slaves, started Dixwell Church down on Crown and Temple Street. It used to be called Temple Street. In 1886, the church moved to 100 Dixwell. Before Daddy Grace got it, then, you know, that's where they were. All right, when the projects were all around and everything like that, that's where they were. Next to the Q House, thank you. Mr. George Crawford, the first corporation counsel in the city of New Haven, African American. He's got some buildings named after him over there downtown, the Crawford Manor, as well as the law students the Law Association for the state of Connecticut is named after him, George Crawford. Chairman of the Finance Board of Dixwell Church. He was the first African-American corporation counsel in the history of New Haven, and he started the Q House back in 1928. Q House moved down here with a separate board in 1969. When the church came here in 69, Q House came. Last 40 years, been a separate board. But the Q House is a wonderful organization, and it's going to be reopened again. Let's give our nice round of applause, and our mayor and others for reopening the Q House. We want to invite you to the mentorship program. Mayor John Daniels is the chairman of the Deacon Board at Dixwell Avenue Congregational Church. He is a mentor. You can learn about how to become the mayor of, one of these days, of the city of New Haven. You can learn how to become a United States Senator. You can learn how to become President of the United States of America from Deacon John Daniels. You can learn how to be the #1 minority business packager in North America, by Mr. Carl Highsmith, multimillionaire, chairman of the Finance Board, and philanthropist. You can learn how to be an OBGYN by coming to Dixwell Church. You can learn how to be a lawyer. My wife submitted in Connecticut and as well as New York. Or you can learn how to be a college professor, like Reverend Scott, full professor, Gateway Community College. You can learn how to move your life forward by coming over here to Dixwell Church, coming over here to the library, helping out what's in school, and making our community better than it is. Together we can do that. We want you right now. God bless you. God keep you. Let's work together. Let's give the library a nice round of applause. And the stand a nice round of applause.
Okay, now I gotta come behind the preacher, but it's okay. That's his gift. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is to move the program forward. I'm gonna bring up Margaret Bodell. This project would not have been moved forward. Margaret Bodell and I met on this project. Margaret and I were forced to work together, and it's a good thing that we liked each other, because we had no choice, because it was only Margaret and I at the end of the day. So it's a blessing that Margaret and I, and everything you see from the beginning to the end, the setting up of the food. Margaret and I, we never stressed about it. We just kind of rolled with it, and things just came. Please, Katro. Katro is very shy.
I want to tell a little bit about 7 months ago when we started this project. We started it right here in the library room, and the kids and everybody would work in there. The mural took on an organic feeling. It just exploded out of the library. We had to get the storefront next door. The property manager right next door to the library was kind enough to let us use that. So we've been roosting in there, and all kinds of people have been coming to help Katro. Katro has been working, I don't know how many hours on this. Through this project, I got to meet some extraordinary individuals like Katro, like Diane, like Sam, like everyone who would come by. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope we can do more projects. And I just want to give a round of applause for Katro and just say, like, woo!
I'm not much of a public speaker, but I will say something anyway. This has been an honor in education, and we're making short and sweet. And I'd just like to thank all of y'all, and I'm going to see y'all later for refreshments.
As we started thinking about the installation of Reed, we noticed these